I wonder, could the continuous transfer of heat in the world's lake of water bodies in general lead to the drought of water on land? If we compare our world's water body to a pan filled with water, and you are heating this pan on the stove, if you leave the pan for some time, all the water inside it will eventually disappear. But luckily for us, our world is not a hot pan on a stove. Our world maintains the water, and thanks to the water cycle. Let's discover together through the next activity. Ask questions like a scientist. This activity is called dropping water levels. In this activity, we are going to use our prior knowledge and ask questions about how energy transfer in the water cycle can cause water levels to drop in the lake. Let's check the activity on our textbook. In this activity, we will have two photos of the same lake. Look closely at the first photo. The water level is very, very low. What about the second photo? Do you see these flamingos? They get their food from this lake. So I wonder, what makes the level of water in the lake very low, nearly dry? Does the lake dry up throughout the day? Or throughout the whole year? Or in a certain season? To get the answer to this question and learn more about the lake, take your time to read the text, and then we will come back to discuss it together. While reading the text, did you notice this statement? The lake rarely spans an area much larger than a paddle and completely dries up in some summers. We can say that it dries up, fills up, and so on. What does this mean? This means that the changing climate affects the lake. But how? We all know that the heat of the sun, especially in summer, is very high. So it leads to evaporate the water of the lake. Therefore, the lake dries up. I think you still have more questions, right? Take your time to record your questions. When we come back, we will listen to some of our colleagues' questions. Pay attention. Your questions must be open-ended, which means that they should have lots of ways to be answered. Not like those simple questions which can be answered by a yes or no response. Go ahead, start now. Now let's listen to some of our colleagues' questions.
Do salt water and fresh water evaporate at the same rate?
How does climate change affect the water cycle? How do agriculture practices affect the water cycle?
Thank you, our colleagues, for your good questions. And now let's post all your questions and the main question of the concept on the concept wall. Our main question is, how do water, wind, and sunlight drive energy transfer in the water cycle? And our colleagues' questions are: does climate change affect the water cycle? Do salt water and fresh water evaporate?
تقدر تتابع كل دروسك على تطبيق مدرستنا بلس. مدرستنا، المستقبل يبدأ الآن.